Good Thursday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath. We have a lot going on in the weather department over the next several days. We want to start off with what we're seeing right now because it has been a very dynamic day across the region. We're still seeing some wintry precipitation mixing in mostly for areas off to the west of I-81. That's where you see that light shading of pink. But elsewhere, we are continuing to see some really steady, moderate to heavy rain, and that will continue here for the next several hours. But let's start off with where those temperatures are hovering right around freezing. Again, over towards Winchester, into Romney, Cumberland, everywhere where you see that light shading of pink indicating either some light freezing rain or what I think the more likely scenario is at this point is sleet. And these are areas where we saw inches of snowfall earlier this morning, parts of western Maryland and West Virginia picking up 3-4 inches of snow. Even parts of northern Virginia saw some pretty significant accumulation, and that snow came down at a pretty good clip for several hours this morning. And we're still seeing a little bit of icing through Strasburg, back into Winchester, Cross Junction. If the temperature is reading right around or below freezing, you need to be aware that we could be mixing in some of that frozen precipitation. But elsewhere across the area, everywhere you see that shading of yellow from Culpeper back into Warrenton, really difficult travel along 66 right now into Fairfax and Manassas, right along 95 and all the way back into Leesburg. We are still seeing that moderate to heavy rain continuing through parts of the district as well. The steadiest rain right now all the way down into Leonardtown. That's where you start to mix in some of that orange shading, indicating even heavier rainfall, but all the way back through Dunkirk, Prince Frederick, up into Bowie. Pretty much everyone seeing this moderate rain that's going to continue as we head through the next several hours. So here's a look at our current temperatures because most of the area is above the freezing mark. In fact, we're in the low 40s right now for DC, down into Manassas and Waldorf, 38 degrees in Culpeper. But where you see that little shading of blue, that's indicating a temperature that's below freezing. So if you get into parts of far northern Virginia over into western Maryland, parts of West Virginia, that's where temperatures are still hovering right around the freezing mark. And in turn, we're seeing that sleet and a little bit of light icing. So the winter weather advisory continues for everyone pretty much west of I-81 throughout this evening. We'll start to see these advisories drop off over the next several hours as the precipitation clears out and temperatures start to warm up. But where you see that white shading through parts of western Maryland down into West Virginia, that's where we still have a winter storm warning in effect for the next several hours. We also have flood watches in effect until 1 o'clock this morning for an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain. So this encompasses DC and the surrounding counties down into southern Maryland and central Virginia, but everyone at a pretty much equal risk of seeing some really significant rainfall as we head through the next several hours. So this is just one of our computer models, but this is additional rainfall that we can expect in addition to what's already fallen throughout the day today. And we've already seen some pretty high rainfall totals over the past several hours. And don't focus so much on the particular number you see in any given town, just the idea that another inch to up to 2 inches of rain is possible. And we've seen it throughout the day today. A lot of puddling, a lot of ponding because the ground is frozen. That rain really not readily absorbing as it typically would if we were coming off of a warmer stretch of weather. So a lot of that rain is either falling off or ponding and puddling. And again, that's going to be a concern as we head into tomorrow and we see temperatures crash. So let's take you through Futurecast all the way into Saturday and talk about what we can expect over the next several days, because we know a lot of folks trying to get out on the road and it is going to be pretty difficult for any travel as we head really through, I would say, the next 24 hours, but even into tomorrow evening and overnight, we do have that flash freezing potential. So as we head throughout the afternoon, much of the same. We'll continue to see this steady moderate to even heavy rain as we head throughout the later evening hours. This is right around 5 o'clock, so very difficult travel for anyone that's still working in the office, trying to commute home this evening. If kids are trying to get home from the bus stop, I hope they have the rain gear because it is still going to be very wet as we head into the evening hours. I do think by about 8-9 o'clock, the really heavy rain starts to pull off to the north and east of town, moving through parts of Baltimore into the eastern shore and the Delmarva as we head through the later evening hours. And then we catch a little bit of a break as we head through the overnight. This is right around 11 o'clock. If you're checking back in with us, notice temperatures actually still quite mild, upper 30s, low 40s for most of us, and we stay mainly dry as we head into the overnight hours. But by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll see the back edge of this this moisture, kind of the calm ahead of this storm that's moving through right now, and that will bring in another burst of rain foremost before flipping over to snow as that cold air comes rushing in throughout the day tomorrow. This is right around 8 o'clock. Notice we're still in the 40s for the D.C. area, but you head back into western Maryland already in the single digits for actual temperatures for Friday morning. And as that cold front continues to push throughout the day tomorrow, this is 9 a.m. temperatures falling into the 20s for parts of Loudoun and Montgomery County, into the teens the farther north and west you go, and those temperatures will continue to crash. So we'll see that quick flip from rain over to snow really later in the commute, say 6-7 o'clock tomorrow morning, with any leftover moisture pulling away, I think by around 11 a.m. tomorrow, but it may result in some brief slushy minor accumulation. However, keep in mind, with temperatures falling so quickly, that snow isn't going to melt, so roads will remain slick as we head throughout most of the day tomorrow, and any leftover ponding or puddling that we see from today will refreeze, because this is lunchtime tomorrow. Actual temperatures in the teens and 20s. Wind will be ramping up throughout the day tomorrow, making temperatures feel even colder than they actually are. The good news with that wind, once it starts to kick up, that will help dry the surfaces, dry the roads, and get up any leftover moisture and any potential minor snow accumulation that we see throughout the early morning hours. But again, 1 p.m. temperatures in the single digits from Romney back into Oakland, 13 in Martinsburg, 24 in D.C., and temperatures don't stop there. They continue to fall throughout the entire day tomorrow. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow night. Maybe folks are looking to hit the road for the holiday after they wrap up their workday on Friday evening. Temperatures will be in the single digits off to the north and west of D.C. Teens around town, but feeling much colder than it actually is with that wind that will still be coming in really steadily from the west-northwest, sustained between about 10 to 20 miles per hour, but gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour. Now is the time, or rather maybe later tonight or early tomorrow morning once the rain stops, to secure any holiday decorations. We'll talk more about the wind threat in just a minute, but we want to get you all the way into Saturday, because on Christmas Eve, we know a lot of folks are traveling. This is 11 o'clock tomorrow night if you're checking in with us. Actual temperatures in the teens and single digits, and that's where they'll stay through the overnight. So waking up Saturday morning, maybe you're looking to load up the car. I recommend doing so well ahead of time, maybe today if you can, because temperatures will be in the single digits and feeling sub-zero, just around 5 degrees for a low temperature by Saturday morning. 7 in Leesburg, 10 in D.C., 9 down into La Plata. And again, these are actual temperatures. We'll show you those feels like temperatures in just a minute. And throughout the day on Saturday, temperatures will stay in the teens and 20s. Rinse and repeat for Christmas Day on Sunday. We are likely looking at the coldest Christmas day in 22 years. So as far as the wind threat goes, we do have a wind advisory in effect for most of our area. That's everywhere you see shaded there in that orange. That's for gusts up to 50 miles per hour. We are talking about a significant wind threat as we head throughout the day tomorrow. That wind really starts to ramp up as the cold front passes through during the morning and early afternoon hours, and it sticks around into Saturday morning as well. Most of Saturday, in fact, is fairly blustery. Now, where you see that deeper shading of orange through parts of the Shenandoah over toward the Blue Ridge, that's where a high wind warning is in effect, and that's for gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So charge your devices tonight ahead of time in the event that we do see some isolated power outages. We are talking about a really significant period of really high wind throughout a good chunk of the day tomorrow. So let's time it out here using Futurecast. This is right around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, where that cold front has already passed through. That's where we have that high wind warning in effect for winds gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour through Oakland and Cumberland. It will be noticeably breezy to start the day tomorrow, with wind gusting around 20 to 30 miles per hour for D.C. and the surrounding counties. But notice what happens as we head throughout the afternoon. We start to see those winds gusting upwards of about 30 to 40 miles per hour. In fact, we'll back it up and take you through this one more time. So here we are again. This is 12 p.m. winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour. A few locally higher gusts possible as we head throughout the afternoon. So again, make sure before tomorrow tomorrow that your holiday decorations are either brought inside or secured, because we are talking about a prolonged period of that significant wind. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Still seeing winds gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour throughout Friday evening. You look out off to our west, that's where we'll still have winds gusting 40 to 50, possibly even 60 miles per hour toward the Blue Ridge, where that wind will be even more significant. And again, where we have that high wind warning in effect. This is Saturday morning, right around 7 a.m. Still noticeably blustery. And keep in mind, our actual temperatures will be in the single digits, so it is going to feel much colder than it actually is by the time you're stepping outside, really throughout the day tomorrow, but especially by Saturday morning. And with breezy conditions throughout the day, bank on temperatures feeling sub-zero and in the single digits for a good chunk of the day on Saturday. This is right around 7 p.m. Winds will finally start to diminish for most of us, but off west of 81, we're still going to see significant wind as we head through Christmas Day as well. So let's talk about what that will make our temperatures feel like. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow. Not a whole lot of wind chill factor, but as those temperatures crash throughout the morning and into the afternoon, this is 12 p.m. If you're stepping outside right around lunchtime, already feeling like 13 below in Romney, feeling sub-zero in Hagerstown, feeling like the single digits in Northern Virginia over into Leesburg, Gaithersburg, feeling like the teens for DC and points south and east. And throughout the day, it's only going to feel colder as temperatures drop and wind sticks around. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow, feeling sub-zero for Gaithersburg, Leesburg, feeling like 11 below in Winchester, nearly 20 below in Romney, and just a little bit farther off to the north and west through parts of far western Maryland, parts of Oakland, parts of West Virginia. That's where it could feel as cold as 45 degrees below zero as we head throughout late Friday and into Saturday. This is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Again, if you're hitting the road for the holidays, loading up the car, it is going to be feeling sub-zero for just about everyone, with a major wind chill factor throughout the day. Temperatures only feeling like the single digits and low teens as we head throughout your Saturday forecast. So we have wind chill advisories in effect for just about everyone. That's everyone you see shaded there in that light shading of pink. That's until 10 a.m. on Saturday for those sub-zero wind chill feels like temperatures rather, and off to our north and west and through parts of the Shenandoah. That's where a wind chill warning is in effect, where wind chills could feel as cold as 45 degrees sub-zero. So we're talking about dangerous cold coming off of flooding rain, a quick flip over to snow tomorrow, a really dynamic forecast here over the next several days. A lot of changes occurring throughout the day tomorrow. This is a forecast we are encouraging you to stick with us over the next really 24 to 36 hours, because we know a lot of folks are hitting the road doing holiday travel, and there will be some high weather impacts. So here's a brief overview of tomorrow. We'll start off with that period of rain, flipping over to snow for a brief period tomorrow morning, really after the morning commute. So fingers crossed that that doesn't have a huge impact on the morning drive, but it could result in some minor slushy accumulation, with the best chance being north and west of DC. But I think even in and around the district, we could see some minor accumulation throughout tomorrow morning. We'll stay cloudy throughout the rest of the day. Wind starts to kick up in the wake of that cold front, and temperatures crash throughout the day, starting in the 40, ending in the single digits by the time we get to tomorrow night. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Of course, we do have a weather watch alert in effect for tomorrow. Saturday, the sunshine is back, but it is going to be bitterly cold. We're talking about that Arctic air starting the day in the single digits and teens, climbing into the 20s, but never feeling warmer than the teens. A major wind chill factor sticks around throughout the day on Saturday as well. Sunday, Christmas Day, not as windy, but still very cold, with temperatures below freezing throughout the day. Thankfully, lots of nice sunshine. And then as we head into next week, we gradually get warmer day by day, but still staying right around the freezing mark for Monday. Temperatures back in the mid to upper 40s by the middle and end of next week. Of course, we'll continue to bring you updates as we get them in, and we'll see you on WUSA 9 starting at 5.